Parents are tremendous role models. If your children see that you think reading is important and enjoy it, they will follow your lead.
Hi everyone, it's Miss MaryMargaret from the Sand Lake Library. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today, and I've got another story time planned. This one is going to be about reindeer. Let's go ahead and do our hello song first. Ready? Here we go. Up, down, turn around, touch the sky, touch the ground, wiggle fingers, wiggle nose, wiggle shoulders, wave hello. All right, our first book today isn't about a real reindeer. It's about a little girl who has very, very, very large antlers. Have you ever heard of Imogene? Well, let's go check out what happens to Imogene.
Imogene's Antlers by David Small. On Thursday, when Imogene woke up, she found she had grown antlers. Getting dressed was difficult, and going through a door now took some thinking. Imogene started down for breakfast, but got hung up. Oh, Imogene's mother fainted away. The doctor poked and prodded and scratched his chin. He could find nothing wrong. The school principal glared at Imogene, but had no advice to offer. Her brother Norman consulted the encyclopedia and then announced that Imogene had turned into a rare form of miniature elk. Imogene's mother fainted again and was carried upstairs to bed. Imogene went into the kitchen. Lucy, the kitchen maid, had her sit by the oven to dry some towels. "Lovely antlers," said Lucy. The cook, Mrs. Perkins, gave Imogene a doughnut, then decked her out with several more, and sent her into the garden to feed the birds. "You'll be lots of fun to decorate come Christmas," said Mrs. Perkins. Later, Imogene wandered upstairs. She found the whole family in Mother's bedroom. "Doughnuts, anyone?" she asked. Her mother said, "Imogene, we have decided there is only one thing to do. We must hide your antlers under a hat." Norman telephoned the milliner. At 3 o'clock, the milliner arrived. Rapidly, he sketched a few designs, then set to work. "Voila!" said the milliner. "Bravo! Bravissimo!" cried his assistants. Thud! Imogene's mother had to be carried away once more. After dinner, Imogene practiced her piano lesson. Then, yawning, she folded her music, kissed the family, and went to bed. Imogene sighed, remembering the long, eventful day. On Friday, when Imogene woke up, the antlers had disappeared. When she came down to breakfast, the family was overjoyed to see her back to normal. Until she came into the room.
Can you imagine waking up one day with giant antlers like Imogene did? Or peacock feathers? Ooh, that was pretty crazy. I can't even imagine. Our next book is not about a reindeer. It's about a close relative of the reindeer. It's about moose. Let's get right to it.
Mistletoe by Margie Palantini and illustrated by Henry Cole. 'Twas the season, and Moose was merry. He joyfully tickled the ivories with a tuneful of tidings and a flurry of fa-la-las. He was so full of ho-ho-hos, even his moustache had the holiday spirit. But Moose was more than just a bit merry and bright. He was busy, busy, busy. There was a lot to be done on his list of to-dos. But with orderly organization, a bit of regimentation, lots of imagination, and just plain old Moose know-how, getting ready for the big day should have been simple, easy. Yes, in all probability, just perfectly perfect. He wasted not one merry minute. Moose got moving and put some hustle into the holiday bustle. He went to work. He wrote cards and letters till his hooves hurt. Check. He shopped till he dropped. Check. He hauled home boxes and bags and presents galore. Moose had gifts for everyone stacked from ceiling to floor. Check, check, check. Then he rapped, yo, 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 and he ribboned, ho, 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 and on each and every package he tied a big, beautiful bow. Check and double check. So far, so simple, so easy, so perfectly perfect. Another look at the list, and Moose headed for the kitchen. He pulled out the pots, pans, and bowls, sifted through stacks and racks of cookbooks. He whisked with his left, spooned with his right. Moose baked tons of tins of cookies. Check. Dozens of cakes, breads, and sweets. Check, check, check. He made jellies, sticky jams. Moose roasted a goose and some chestnuts. He toasted marshmallows and yams. Check, 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 triple check. Yes, yes, so simple, so easy, and but of course, so perfectly perfect. Decorations were up next on his list of things to do and get done, so Moose decked the halls, then spruced up the walls. He beaded, bowed, and mistletoed. He gathered garlands, roped wreaths and holly, jingled bells, sang noels. Oh, good golly, this Moose was jolly. Check, 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 check. Last but not least, he hung all the stockings, each and every one with special care, and just in time, too. Soon Santa would be there. Check and final check. Yes, sirree, getting ready for Christmas was an absolute snap. And so simple, so easy. And if he did say so himself, Moose thought, totally, utterly, completely, perfectly perfect. On that night before Christmas, Mother, little Sissy, Bucky, and Junior looked all through the house. What a job Moose had done! Everything looked beautiful, festive, quite fine indeed. There was just one minor problem, if you will. Oh dear, sighed the missus, as the five stared at one empty corner. Oh my, oh me, oh gee! Pop, what happened? Cried Junior. You forgot the tree. Oops. Where would they hang the tinsel, string the popcorn, light the lights? Where would Santa leave his gifts for the kiddies on Christmas Eve night? So Moose pulled on his galoshes and put on his hat. He would find a tree somewhere, somehow, and that's all there was to that. So out went the moose, braving blustery, blowing winds and the cold, trudging through snowdrifts, courageous and bold. Moose first hoofed it down to the corner, not a tree to be had. Then he slid around the block. Uh-oh, things were looking bad. He went down every boulevard, street, and little road. He looked down lanes and alleys. Every tree had been sold. There wasn't a branch, not a twig, not even one lousy, bowless bough hanging around. Nope, nada, nothing. Not a tree to be found. No tree, sighed a sad moose as he came home empty-handed that snowy eve. The kids tried to make the best of it. They said, "Oh, so who needs a tree?" But Moose could plainly see they were short on the glee. He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did. In the empty corner he stood and spread his arms out very wide. Then he smiled at his children and he winked at his bride. "Kids," he declared, "fetch your forgetful pops some of that tried and true family glop." So back came the kids carrying a big pot of glue, and without a word to one another, they knew just what to do. They each took a part, grabbing strands, taking hold, then carefully, oh so carefully, they glopped. And they plopped. They pasted and they pressed. They curled and twirled every which way a follicle could fathom, until Moose's magnificent moustache was indeed even more of a marvel to see. Moose was just a few needles shy of being an evergreen tree. They strung Moose with lights from his head to his toes and draped him with tinsel, beginning right with his nose. They hung balls that were shiny and bells that twinkled, candy canes, berries, and plums sugar sprinkled. Then they all stood back. Junior plugged in his pop. Ooh, ah, yes, Moose truly was one incredible sight. He was glorious and glowing, and boy, oh boy, was he ever bright. Then Junior placed the star on top of Moose's head. He gave him a kiss and a pat, and they all headed off to bed. Except Moose, of course. He stayed in the corner instead, still twinkling and blinking and waiting for Santa. Oh, so it wasn't so simple, and it wasn't so easy, and okay, it wasn't so perfectly perfect. But do you know what? It was pretty close. Ho, ho, ho!
Our last book is here. And guess what? This is the one you've been waiting for. It's all about our friend Rudolph. But this isn't the normal story you've heard about Rudolph in the past. This is a little bit different. So let's check it out.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh, Nose, by Dennis Shealy, and illustrations by BKN International. One afternoon, just before Christmas Eve, Santa's reindeer were out in the snow playing reindeer games. Rudolph, Santa's most famous reindeer, was competing in an exciting hockey game. With one quick motion, Rudolph caught the puck and sent it straight into the net. Goal! Cheered the team as Rudolph's nose glowed brightly. Great teamwork, shouted the coach. Rudolph, you're in fine shape to pull Santa's sleigh this year. Now, let's score one more goal and win the game. Comet soon took control of the puck. I'm open, yelled Rudolph. Comet hit the puck with all his might toward Rudolph, and whack! The puck hit Rudolph right in the face. My nose, cried Rudolph. Are you all right? Asked the scorekeeper. Yeah, said Rudolph, but my nose isn't glowing. Go get some rest, Rudolph, instructed the coach. I'm sure your nose will be better in the morning. But Rudolph's nose wasn't better in the morning. He tried ice. He tried heat. He thought pleasant Christmas thoughts. But no matter what he did, his nose simply would not glow. When Hermie heard about Rudolph's problem, he came right over with his dental tools. What your nose needs is a good cleaning, said Hermie, reaching for some minty fresh polish. He made Rudolph's nose shinier than ever, but it still didn't glow. Maybe Mo, the mechanic, will know what to do, suggested Hermie. He can fix anything. Rudolph agreed, and they headed off to Mo's. When they arrived, Mo said, I can fix you up in a jiffy. He walked over to his workbench and found his tools. He hammered and welded, he twisted and tightened. Good as new, said Mo when he finished. You're a deer in headlights. It certainly is bright, said Rudolph, but I'd never be able to fly with such a heavy thing. Go visit the Wizard of the Ice Caves, suggested Mo. You need magic to jumpstart that nose. Bye. The wizard examined Rudolph's nose carefully. I know just what to do, he said, stroking his whiskers. The wizard waved his magic wand, said some magic words, and poof! Rudolph suddenly sprouted a glowing red ball where his tail used to be. Oh no, cried Rudolph. I need my nose to glow, not my tail. I can't fly backward and lead Santa's sleigh. True, quite true, replied the wizard. He raised his magic wand and changed Rudolph back to normal. Thanks, said Rudolph sadly as he headed home. He was very worried. Christmas Eve was just one day away. How was he going to lead Santa's sleigh? Mrs. Claus arrived soon after Rudolph got home. I heard all about your poor nose, she said, so I brought you some hot cocoa and cookies. Thank you, Rudolph sighed. I'm not really hungry. Nonsense, replied Mrs. Claus. My cookies keep Santa round and jolly all year long. Now eat, eat. Rudolph sipped the hot cocoa and nibbled the cookies. The steam from the mug tickled his nose, and the cookies warmed his insides. Then Rudolph noticed that the room looked a lot brighter. My nose! It's glowing again, he exclaimed. Nothing fills you with the Christmas spirit like hot cocoa and cookies, said Mrs. Claus. That's all your nose needed. a good dose of Christmas spirit. The following night, Santa packed his sleigh full of toys and climbed aboard. Up, up, and away! Shouted Santa, and the sleigh took off into the night, led by Rudolph and his wonderful glowing red nose.
Thank you so much for coming to Story Hour today. I had a lot of fun, and I was very cozy and warm. All right, let's go ahead and do our goodbye song. Ready? Up, down, turn around, touch the sky, touch the ground, pat your tummy, blink your eyes, blow a kiss, mwah, and wave goodbye. Goodbye. Take care, everyone. Hi, everybody. It's Miss MaryMargaret from the Sand Lake Library. Sonic, you are moving my tripod. Sonic.